ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that, but Matt said there was going to not be an issue, so now he's not on the podcast this week.
Yeah, I'm about to fall off the internet. Yeah.
Yeah. He did the horrible thing of saying,
everything's fine.
you know,
We
when
don't need a backup.
everything's fine, or it's going to be a quiet night, nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
So it's all going to go terribly wrong this episode.
Why does that not happen when you go, God, I hope no one sucks my dick?
Welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts, Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
It's not fair, is it?
It's not.
No.
Hope I don't.
Every time I say I don't want to suck
Hope
dick,
I don't win
guess
the
what
lottery.
happens?
That would be
Yeah.
a nightmare. I'd have to enter the lottery to win the lottery.
Yeah.
I'm glad my
I
car
actually
is a
every now and
classic
again.
family station wagon and not a sports car or something like
Yeah.
that.
Hope no one crashes into my truck with a Ferrari and then to apologise gifts me the Ferrari,
Yeah.
which
I was
is
talking to-
miraculously uninjured.
Boy and I were talking this week about how to kind of increase our finances, and I was like, okay, what if we followed around a real estate mogul until one of his kids was in a life-threatening danger, and then I swoop in and save him, and then as a payment, you know, to say thank you, he gives us a house with a very reasonable mortgage rate
and everything.
And
Yeah.
she's like, well, in
so
this
you still
fantasy,
looking
he's
to
not
pay?
even giving it to you for free. And I'm like, well, let's not get greedy.
Yeah.
I don't need it for free. I just need it to be payable out of my income.
I enter the lotto every now and again because I don't want to win millions. I just want to win to have no debt. Imagine just not having to pay off a loan or mortgage at all, and just the money you make
It would
is
have
just
to be
yours.
millions
That'd
for
be
me
neat.
at this point, but yes.
That'd be neat.
No, I'm talking about like not the 20 million, 50 million type of thing. Just
Mm-hmm.
just enough, just to
2 million
Sure.
would make quite a difference in my life. I'll say that.
Yeah.
yeah. Like you still got to go to work, you still got to do everything, but you're not thinking about mortgages or
Forget the
loans
lottery.
or-
We just need to do this every week. Go to patreon.com/multiple nerdgasm. Sign up. Give us money so that Luke can.
We could live debt-free.
My boss has started doing a YouTube channel where he does game reviews and tips and stuff, but on very
cool.
specific games and not the kind of games we talk about. But he started referring to it as passive income and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
you still have to record a show. That's that's still
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
It's the work.
You're just enjoying it at the moment. You wait until you're not enjoying it anymore and see if you still call it passive income.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
there's
think
some
that
things.
actually happens with a lot of YouTubers that they will start off for fun, and then you watch them, and then it becomes a job, and then you've got to hire editors and stuff.
I've
and
seen-
I think
Because I've often thought, oh, it would be fun. It is a lot of work. Like this show is quite a lot of work, and you know, I enjoy it, so that I don't care. But if we got like, you know, because we've said that we don't want to do certain things because honestly, if it's work, we're not interested. Right? This is fun. It's fine. We're happy to do it.
Yes.
And I've seen YouTubers, like popular YouTubers who do music stuff, like say, who I would think, oh, their life must be great, who just fucking burn out, and they may have to make a video where they're like, I can't do this
do it
anymore,
anymore.
guys.
Yeah.
I just can't do
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, oh man, that's fucked up.
because for YouTube, they're not making. The top ones are making millions, but
Sure.
most of them aren't. They're making enough to live on, but you can't stop.
Not
No,
everybody's
you've got
Mr.
to
Beast.
Take
they
a
work hard.
holiday.
The ones that make money work hard. This
Yeah.
is one of the few
Yeah.
industries
Yeah.
where actually the harder you work, the more you get paid.
Sure. Yeah.
But if you take a holiday for 2 weeks to catch up, you don't get income.
no, and not only that, you lose subscribers.
Lose your
They just
subscribers.
They drop off. Yeah, it's
You've got always be up, and you're not making millions of dollars. Like for most of them, they're making a nice income, but all you're doing is sitting in front of your computer working and
Speaking
engaging
of
with
income,
people.
have you noticed that the crowd has kind of turned on some of the Hollywood celebrities who have started shows back up? Specifically, I'm talking Drew
Yeah.
Barrymore started
Yeah,
up
Drew Barrymore.
a chat
Yeah.
show. Everyone's like, you're a traitor. And she's like, A, it's not scripted, it's not acted, so nobody is crossing a picket line. But also, my staff have to work. You know, my
Yeah.
staff need money on the table.
Yeah, it's hard, I guess. I mean, clearly,
And
it
yeah,
is.
and-
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not a scripted show, and that's the other thing you have to. That's what we're going to be getting for the next few years. Is
Well, the
that
actors
type
are on
of
strike
show.
as well, and they're arguing that she's an actor, but I guess her argument is that she's not an actor in
She's
this.
not acting.
she's not an actress
Sure.
anymore. She's
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you could still be an actor,
The
but
hosts
she's
are on
not
strike.
acting in this particular circumstance, I
that's
suppose.
right.
But her apology was teary and legit. Like she obviously feels really bad about it. She doesn't really know
you
what
must.
to do.
Yeah, I
guess.
mean, all her friends
Yeah.
are still out there holding up signs, but you know, the people that work for her are starving.
Yeah.
But she has pulled out of things, like she pulled out MTV awards or something, like because to go, no, I'm not part of that, I'm not
Yeah.
doing that
Yeah.
because of this, and she's still taking a stand where she can. But yeah, people still need to get paid.
Oh man,
Yeah.
my driver, did I tell you this already on air? My driver in Bali recently was just telling us how, it was really bad here during COVID. We're like, yeah, I bet. He's like, yeah, I had to fish for my own fish because I couldn't get meat. I didn't eat meat for 2 years. And I was like,
Can't even
yeah,
imagine.
I guess I can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to work from home
I had to get my groceries
and just get
delivered.
stuff
Yeah.
delivered.
My life changed only for the better during COVID.
Yeah,
I got a better job.
I mean, let's
I got
be
a
honest,
better
we're
house.
fortunate, yeah.
Yeah, I got a better working conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I got a better job. I brought a house. Going to work was great because there was no one on the roads and the office was quiet. And
Yeah.
I
COVID
guess
didn't
this
really
is. I
affect
guess
us.
this is the white privilege they tell us about,
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
and that's not a flex, ladies and gentlemen. That's
No,
just
no.
us slowly coming to realize that we should shut our mouths about some things,
Yeah. Yeah.
but not
Yes,
about others.
definitely.
Not about other things.
No.
Well, look, I got an important question. I've done my homework. Have you done your homework, Luke?
I've got 2 more weeks.
Have you?
Matt's not going to be here in 2 weeks.
I'll do it for next week. I will sit down and I'll watch June. Watch a guy sit in a room.
Yeah.
You
All
might
right.
I don't
be
know why you want me
surprised
to watch this.
how much of a your kind of movie this is.
Oh, sorry, I do forget. It's not just a guy sitting in a room. There's also a guy walking into that room.
Yeah, but you know
That's
who
right.
plays that
I forget
guy
that part
in
of
this
it.
movie?
No.
A radical dude who you're going to enjoy, who really he acts the shit out of that character.
All right.
I saw a
Watch
trailer for
this
the
week,
second
I promise.
part before another film that I saw this week. And there's a trailer I hadn't seen yet. Oh, man, it looks so good.
Yeah,
Look,
it reminds
we'll
you
talk about
how
the
good
movie.
the first one was.
I'll tell you what. I will tell you what I did watch this week.
Okay.
Go on.
Do you want? I watched a television series called Search Party.
Okay. I don't know this.
Weird as hell. It's 5 seasons.
You watched 5 seasons of a show, but you couldn't watch Dune.
Oh, you had
it
me at
just
Jeff
keeps-
Goldblum.
Oh,
He's in the last season.
Okay.
interesting.
It's got the girl who played Maybe in Arrested Development.
Oh, one of
Oh,
their
yeah.
friends dies and they decide to be detectives?
Yeah. Yes.
I watched the first episode way back in the day and didn't go ahead.
Yeah. If you watch it, it just keeps escalating and escalating and just gets weirder and weirder.
Search Party.
Yeah, I couldn't stop watching it.
Okay. I stopped because I thought it was young people being cool, and that doesn't really interest me anymore.
No,
Because you don't get to do that.
Yes, correct.
These are once you watch a bit more, you find out it's for terrible people.
Ooh.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Who are very
It's
self-involved.
for
Yeah,
terrible
it's-
people.
Yeah, it's for
Yeah.
terrible people like us. Yeah,
I'm surprised you didn't like it, Dan.
I know, right? Right in the demo.
Yeah, no, it's like one of the guys talks about how he had cancer as a child and all this
Oh,
stuff.
what a
Terrible
jerk.
people.
Goes on about it all the
Fuck
time. But no, watch it, and it took me a little while to get into it. But then once you do, and then especially that one you get that last season when everything sort of comes together.
Okay.
Oh, so it wraps
So
up
it
properly.
finishes.
Well, no, it finishes and then it still continues.
Okay.
It does.
But
Of course it does. Why would you
it ties
stop?
up that? No, but it does. It has to continue as well.
Man,
but
are you
it ties
drinking a
up that
tumbler of wine?
story.
No, it's a pint of stout.
Oh, okay.
And then just in case I run out, I also have a glass of Talisker here as well.
Of course. Matt can't do the
just
show
got
if
two
he's sober.
VBs.
He just can't do it.
It's true. I thought that was a fancy VB the first time you lifted it up, but it's just the green screen It's a
Oh, it's
Starfield
taking
VB.
away. What, you thought the
Yeah.
fancy VB had a literal clear case?
No, it just looked gold the first time he picked it up, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
No.
The
Still
gold ones
VB,
are
but it's
4X, and they
cool.
only have those in Queensland,
Yeah.
the land of Queens.
But
will they
let's go
change the
to
name
Matt
of
did-
Queensland to Kingsland now? They're gonna have to.
That would
You're
be
gonna
pretty
have
good.
to.
What? But wasn't it already Queensland before we had a queen?
Well, why was it called that, mate? That was nonsensical if it was.
The band Queensryche have to change their name.
The band
Queen?
Queen,
King when it
have to
was-
change
Yeah.
their name. Yeah. Drag queens have to change all of their names.
But there's already drag kings. Don't bring logic into this. Okay, I'm sorry.
Look,
All right, Matt, you did your homework.
I did double homework. I only promised to watch one
okay,
of those
yeah.
movies, and I watched both of them.
I love
Because
this. Is
I-
the
Ooh.
only year in history where there are two movies you just had to watch, and you had to watch them back to back. It's a strange
Yeah.
phenomenon.
And it also, I mean, I'll say this right off the bat. I mean, they're not in any way similar.
No.
So it's a really weird comparison. That's why,
And I'll
because I
go
was saying,
as far as saying also, now, I think Oppenheimer may have done well regardless, but
it's
mate, it
the highest grossing
piggybacked-
biopic at this in the world this week. It got-
really piggybacked on the Barbie train in ways
think
that
so?
I'm sure. Oh, mate, I think they weren't planning to go head to head with Barbie. They were just going to come out.
Oh, I wouldn't
and,
have thought
and,
so.
and,
Yeah.
and just be a movie and have.
Why
a
would they
normal
even
marketing
consider
campaign. Exactly. But somehow
Well,
the
they
media
weren't.
made this a double
Yeah.
feature
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had to go and see.
Yeah,
So
that's a
even
fair
people
point.
who would only see Barbie, and it was the
Saw Oppenheimer anyway.
highest costing marketing campaign in the world ever for Barbie. More than the cost of the film, which I know we always say, but it's never true. This is true at this point. I think they've really benefited that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think over 900 million Oppenheimer this week. Like, it's the highest grossing biopic of all time.
I mean, and for a straight up drama, that's unheard
Yeah.
of. That's almost $1 billion. This is not a Marvel film.
Yeah, yeah. No, and okay. So which one do you want to hear
Fuck
about
it.
first?
What did you think? Yeah, no, I want to hear about Oppenheimer.
which one?
I wanna
Of which
know-
one?
I want to know if
Go
you thought
Oppenheimer.
about it.
Oppenheimer, guys. I fucking loved it,
Okay,
and I'm
good.
so baffled that you guys didn't. But that's fine. But I fucking loved every second of it.
Okay.
And when it ended, I was like, oh, that's it. All right. No
I
worries.
mean, that's how I felt at the end too.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
We liked it. We thought it
fucking
was
just
fine.
got
liked
me.
it. Just
Yeah, no, I know, but clearly not as much as I did.
No.
because I came out of it and I was thinking, fuck, the guy, like, maybe because my expectations were lower. I fucking loved it.
what did you think of the explosion?
I loved it. Like, I have nothing. I have one negative thing to say about it. It's not even really a negative thing. It's just like it was an odd choice. Is that there was only like one particularly. Maybe he did it a couple of other times, but there was the scene when he's in the hearing and the camera pans past the prosecutor, and on the other side he's naked, and then Florence Pugh's in there as well, and
True to
they're
life.
getting it on in the thing. And it's obviously not real. It's like a fantasy thing. But there was no other point in the movie where that kind of thing happened, so it was a bit odd.
Yeah, agree.
That was the only bit that I was kind of like, weird choice, but okay.
I think they just wanted to get her breasts on screen one more time.
I don't think you saw him in that scene. I was looking.
For me, they talked up the explosion so much, like it's going to be the biggest practical, and sort of
It was
maybe
pretty
you could have
big.
used some special effects for it.
Oh, I see. I mean, it looked pretty
Look, I
fucking
don't-
good to me.
Oh, it looked
know, I
great
was
to me. I
expecting
just
more.
don't care that it wasn't special effects. You could have gone,
No,
no,
I didn't.
Forge, it was all special effects, and I would have
That's
gone,
fair.
okay, well,
That's
it looks
fair.
just as good.
I wasn't really thinking about it.
It wasn't really a flex
when I was
then,
watching
was
it. But yeah,
practical to me.
Yeah, it's just no, they talked it up so much, and then it was just, oh, is that it? For me, at least.
really? I guess I wasn't really
Yeah.
thinking about it like that. Yeah, I was distracted by the Roman guy from Norseman.
Yeah, definitely by him for sure. Waiting for him to
Fucking
say
everybody's
something
in this
ridiculous.
movie. Anytime
Yeah.
a new character was introduced, I was like, oh fuck, it's that guy.
Tiny bit parts. Rami
Yeah,
Malek.
Casey Affleck. Yeah, Rami Malek. Yeah,
Yeah.
Casey Affleck.
Yeah.
in one, like just for a little bit, like
Han
everybody.
Solo. Young Han Solo.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I liked it. The only bits that
A little guy you may have heard of. John F. Kennedy.
those sequences, I felt they were weak than others.
Yeah.
The Robert Downey Jr. stuff was weaker with those two, But I did love that bit at the end where he was like, maybe they were just talking about something more important, mate.
Yeah.
Yes, that was
than
excellent.
That was a really good line.
Because it was... Yeah, because it was really, it
Yeah.
was like... Mate,
Yeah, he's like, I think we have
you.
maybe we have destroyed the world. And he's like, they're talking about me.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
No, mate,
No, that
no one cares.
I liked very much. I liked that very much. I think, yeah, it was a strange choice for me to lean so heavily into the communism elements of his life when I'm sure he barely even remembers that. And they're like, oh, he's going to lose his clearance. That's the stakes, that he's going to lose his clearance. This is the man who wonders whether he should or shouldn't have created an atomic fucking bomb. And like, we're supposed to care whether whether somebody who's going to be a politician, not the president, just going to be the minister of fucking finances or something?
Yeah, Strauss or whatever.
It felt very much
Well,
like
see,
they
I
just
thought
tried to
the whole point was
shoehorn a really dire plot into something that didn't really matter that much. I felt that was...
well, I thought the point was to silence him because he was showing up at these things, poo-pooing their work, trying to shut down the hydrogen bomb, and they were pissed off at him about that. So the taking away his clearance was to, like, now he's not going to have a say.
Yeah.
Like, we got rid of...
Can you really trust this guy? Like, he's just had his clearance taken away.
Yeah, exactly. We've got rid of him. I thought that's what the point was.
Maybe, but
like,
this is 20 years after, and he's been a celebrity on telly for so long. I just think that's an unrealistic point of view to take. That one argument would have discredited him. I don't feel that's the case. But that's not the movie's fault necessarily. Yeah, and I liked it all. Like I said, I enjoyed it very much. And for a 3-hour movie, I was happy to sit there for every minute of the 3 hours, Yeah. Like a lot of 3-hour movies, I'm like, come on, you wrap this up.
I was happy to sit there for nearly the whole movie. I did have to pee at one stage.
Oh, I definitely had to pee at one stage.
I took steps so that I didn't have to pee. That sounds odd. I just peed beforehand.
He was wearing an adult diaper, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I peed beforehand, and we talked about this. I took scotch in instead of a beer because I knew.
Yeah.
And we did talk about this, listeners. If you don't believe us, we really worked out what...
I texted and I said, is this a scotch movie or a beer movie? Yeah. The scotch was an excellent choice. That's the other thing too. The whole experience of it was fucking great for me because it was just like a mostly empty cinema.
Oh, that's great.
I was sat in the recliner with my scotch.
Yeah, look, maybe we weren't drunk enough. Maybe that was the problem.
It could be.
Maybe.
I took martinis into No Time to Die, and that made that a great experience. Yeah.
I drank martinis at Barbie.
Well, we can talk about Barbie.
We can. Oh, I just want to say one more thing. Is I thought Cillian Murphy's performance was fucking amazing. I thought he was fucking amazing in it.
I agree.
Oh, I do have one more question. Do you want a new hat?
No, but I did. He's got one of those little bags that's just got a handle on it, one of those little leather cases, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm such a fucking loser.
His mate, who kept trying to work on the hydrogen bomb, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, that guy must look like that guy must. They must have gone out of their way to make that guy look exactly like that real.
He had a
person
lot of eyeliner on it. Looked like.
Yeah, I felt there was a lot of. I thought prosthetics, and then I went to IMDb after and looked at the actor. No, he looks exactly like that.
Yeah, he just looks like that. I did look. A lot of them looked a lot like. They did an interesting job considering they're all well-known celebrities. When you look at them next to a photo of the characters, I'm like, that's quite good. That's quite a good pick. Like even Cillian Murphy looks a lot like Oppenheimer. They made him look a lot like that. Like
they
I
made
wouldn't
him a
have
lot more
said that he did
sympathetic,
beforehand.
Though, like going back and getting the apple with the poison in it. That part of the story isn't true.
Yeah,
the part where he poisoned it is. He strangled another professor.
Yeah, you're definitely supposed to. And then because I really like the scene, after.
Why would they
first of all,
that in?
After the Trinity test, when they drive off with the 2 nukes that he made to drop on Japan.
That's a great moment.
And he's like, "All right, so you'll call me," and
they're like, "Why?"
And Matt Damon's like, "Sure." and then on the day he's like sat there fucking chain smoking, and his wife's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I thought they would have called by now." And she's like, "Fucking, I'm gonna call you, dickhead."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he hears it on the radio, and then the guy does call, and he goes, "Yeah, it worked. See ya."
They're all
but then
dead,
he does
mate.
that.
Well done.
Yeah, and he does that speech where he's like, "Oh yeah, I bet the Japanese didn't like it." And he's laughing, but his eyes, like just that scene is just like, great. You can just the way he delivers that, but you can see like in his eyes, he's like, "What the fuck have I done?"
Yeah.
And he blames himself.
Yeah.
In the movie, I don't know how he felt in real life. Obviously,
Well, he certainly wanted you to think that he blamed himself.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, he went on to. He did go on to do all that stuff that he does later to try and fight the hydrogen bomb and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But he said, "My bomb's enough. That one's gone too far."
Well, he wanted it to be a deterrent, not a.
Yes.
And then, like that, what's that thing he says later on, where they're like, "Oh, when did your feelings change?" And he goes, "Oh, when I realized any weapon we make, you'll use it."
And that's the thing. You make a weapon, it's going to be used, and it's not the whole idea of deterrence doesn't work.
Oh, I thought Gary Oldman was a bit odd in it too. That scene was a bit odd.
Yeah,
I didn't dislike it as such, but it was very
that was
like
Gary Oldman
on
just
the
saying
nose.
that he can play any world leader, any.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little like softball.
So evidently, the phrasing that he uses in that scene was verbatim what he actually said. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I take it back because I felt it was just like I was like, okay, yeah, we got it. But then he's like, get that whining little, don't let him back in here or whatever.
Yeah, whatever, whining little crybaby or whatever.
Yeah, whatever he says. I was like, okay,
is a literal.
But he really said that.
Evidently, he said it, but not. He didn't say it to Oppenheimer's face. Like he didn't say it as he was closing the door, still within earshot. He said it later on when somebody asked him about it. He said, "Oh, that whinging little crybaby or whatever it was."
What should we do at Los Alamo now? Give back to the Indians? And they're both like, "Nah, that's not going to happen, mate."
Well, I just want to go back to that scene where he's in the office, and he's naked and flops because that wasn't him imagining that. That was his wife, which I just remembered that makes it even weirder. It wasn't because it's meant to be all about him, and then there's just this scene where it's his wife imagining this, and
it was just. And not only that, she knew. She already knew that he'd gone back to her. So I don't know. It was just. And like I said, that kind of thing hadn't happened. So I mean, I knew what it was doing. It wasn't like
there was one. I
was like, why is he naked? I'm so confused. No, I knew what he was doing. It's just
because he gave the speech at the end, and he was imagining everyone dead and everything. So there was another time when he did do it, but that was still him.
Yes, I agree with that, Luke. And actually, I was expecting a little more of that in the black and white sequences because I know they said black and white sequences are purely subjective and color sequences are objective, but I feel they only leaned into that a couple of times, and they really could have. I also thought it was just a little bit odd, and Nolan does get criticized for not giving women enough dialogue to chew on. And the scene with Emily Blunt was very, very good, except that you were like, well, where was this for the rest of the fucking movie?
I was going to say, until that point, I was like, fuck, the women don't get a lot of time in this, do they? Like Florence Pugh's just like a thing he uses and then tosses aside.
Pair of tits.
And his wife's the same thing.
Yeah, just smaller tits.
But I think that's also a product of the time. I don't think.
Sure.
Well, a product of.
But also, he was also meant to be. He was also meant to be a big womanizer, and I don't really get that from.
Yeah, there's only two women.
I agree, but my favorite part of the movie is when it was such a small line, but when he goes, "Oh, blah blah blah, died of a broken heart because he found out that you're having an affair with his wife," and he goes, "Impossible. He never found out."
Yeah. There's some really good lines in it too.
I thought it was excellent. It was one of the best biopics I've ever seen.
Kenneth Branagh says to him early on something about algebra is like opera. It doesn't matter if you can read sheet music. Can you hear the music? And I was like, oh, that's a good line.
Yeah,
I think that is actually a quote from somebody.
I think I just wanted, or I felt I was overpromised that subjectivity in that black and white sequence, that I was waiting for something more imaginative to happen.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then again, that's not the movie's fault that I wanted something different.
I have something else to say, but I'll say it after. Because it's after we talk about the next movie. No, it's not a spoiler. Sure. No. So we also watched Barbie.
So did you just go by yourself, or did you just
I didn't need to.
We talked Barbie out way too much, didn't we?
It's out. Barbie's out. I watched it.
It is.
It's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I laughed a lot. It's fine.
Yeah, I laughed a lot. I thought it was hilarious.
It's definitely not the movie you thought it was going to be.
I thought it was going to be. Once I figured out it wasn't all about horses.
It's my favourite scene is when Ken's just all that whole sequence where he's trying to get a job.
Yeah.
But he's in there and he's like, "Oh, can I speak to a doctor?" And she's like, "I am a doctor." Yeah. And he goes, "Oh, can you get me a coffee?"
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Hang on a minute.
That's
There
why
he
it was
is.
good because, like anyone who says it's like anti-man or whatever, it's way too feminist and stuff. It's like you haven't seen the movie because even when Ken tries to buy into the patriarchy in the real world, not
It's
his
ridiculous.
version. Yeah, he's like, well, just because I'm a man doesn't mean I can get a job here. And they're like, no, not if you don't have a degree. Like, you know, like it doesn't work for him as well, and until he creates his own, you know, Kendom at the end. But
He goes even because he's not a lifeguard. His job is
just
beach. His job is beach. But then he goes and the lifeguard's like, well, you can't rescue anybody from here. And he goes, well, I'm not qualified to rescue anybody anyway, so that works out great.
That's right. Yeah. But when she's like, where does Ken live? And she's like, I have no idea.
No idea.
Evidently, and I don't know this to be true, but I read it as a fact on the internet. Somebody said that the pilot on their plane was like, my name's Ken, my job is plane. And I thought, oh, cute.
That's good.
No, I
Take
just
it with
really
you.
enjoyed
What if there's beach? You'll need an expert.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the
It's
best.
sort of like it's because it's not the kids' movie that I thought it was going to be. Even like
At first, I thought it was a bit, and as
they
it went on
wanted you
later
to
on,
think
I was
it
like,
was.
kids aren't going to understand what the fuck this is about.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No.
I don't know about you, Matt, but when Rita Rutner starts fucking tugging on the heartstrings, talking about daughters, and oh man, like, that really got me.
Yeah,
I
it was good.
Really moved.
It was good. I mean, obviously the Kens have it worse. I'm joking. I'm being facetious. In that world, they do. Because I was like, well, I mean, Kens don't even get to live in a house. We don't know where they live.
No, that's right.
So women, stop
anything,
complaining.
Yeah. And there is that, but there's also that great moment. That's what I liked about it. It's because everyone is coming down. Either it's man hating or it's to this or to that. There's that point where that woman who was the president is now serving beer, and she's like, "Don't you hate this?" She's like, "To be honest, it's kind of nice to not have a whole lot of responsibility for a change."
Yeah,
like,
sure.
and it's like, yeah, what point is this movie trying to make? It's actually not trying to make one point at all. It's just trying to say that it's
pointing out things.
complicated. Yeah, that's right. It's pointing out nuance on both sides, and that's what I really liked about it.
Yeah. No, I did like it. I didn't, like I said, it didn't blow me away. I just because everyone was talking it up and it was just such a big thing, and I watched it. I was like, yeah, no, that was good.
I saw it when I still thought it was going to be absolute garbage. So, and I think that's the best.
You're
best
pleasantly
way to go into a
surprised.
movie.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, I think it's all like, because I heard someone say before I went to see it, like, if you love Barbie, you're going to love this movie. If you don't like Barbie, you're still going to love this movie. And I think that does work because it's a good,
Bring
fun
on the He-Man.
movie.
Same script,
tell you what,
verbatim, but He-Man goes, "Oh no, wait, they've done that. Fuck, it
Yeah,
was the
turn you
original
into the real
He-Man
world.
movie. It was awful."
Yeah, with Gwildor.
Yeah, oh no, it's because they couldn't animate Snarf.
That's right.
Well, they are talking about doing another He-Man.
Yeah. No, they got canned.
Do it properly, and I've
think.
got no problem
Did-
with it.
I think it got canned, yeah.
They got
I,
until Barbie made $1 billion for Mattel,
Oh, yeah, good
man.
point.
And Mattel's all about the money at the moment.
I
Even
can't
in
do
the
Will
movie
Ferrell
they
anymore. Like I said, I can't do Will Ferrell anymore. And Will Ferrell and Kate McKinnon, I just can't.
Oh, I know. Look, I never liked the Saturday Night Live style of comedy post.
I still laughed at things in the scenes they were in,
Yes, good one. But I was not going to say that, but that's a better one. Yeah,
Like-
that crew with the. Why can't I think of the worst actor in the world? But he used to be my favorite comedian. Fucking hell.
but Chris Farley.
But that era, all of his friends.
Chevy Chase, Bill Murray.
No, way after that, the 90s. Who am I thinking of? Fucking Billy fucking Madison.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
That era, I never liked their Saturday Night Live, but I liked their movies that came out of it.
Yeah.
But then I
Tommy
was too
Boy
old for
and-
it. So
I'm old Chris Farley, so they're going to be my examples.
Black Sheep.
Yeah, Black Sheep. I mean, those aren't good movies, but
They're not good, but they were fun. I don't know. The end of fucking Billy Madison, where they doing the quiz, and that guy's like, if anyone attempts to cheat, like my wife, who is a dirty, dirty whore. like that's classic cinema.
take note, Christopher Nolan. Now,
The
I have to say one thing, just
Yeah.
to follow up on what you guys were talking about. I don't think I'll ever watch Barbie again. despite how much I
No,
liked
I'm sure
it.
I won't either. I'm sure I won't.
But I already did try and see if I could see Oppenheimer in IMAX.
Oh,
and
there you go.
I'll definitely watch it again. I just wanted to
Oh,
put
okay.
that out there. I will fucking watch this movie again.
But would you put it on at home?
Yeah, if I could. Well, it's not a movie I could put on, if Lyra's running around and the shit going on. Right. If I could sit down and just, like I did, just sit there with a scotch and just fucking drink it in. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
But committing to that 3 hours,
That would
I don't
be
think
quite difficult.
that'd
to
be the
do.
problem at
Yeah.
home.
Sure.
That's why,
3 hours.
no.
That's the thing. I honestly, that is a nice thing about going to the movies, is that I'm in there to watch the movie.
Yeah.
It's like being on a plane. You know, when you're on a plane, it's like, I'm just going to watch a movie and no one can fucking annoy me because what are they going to ask me to
on a plane
do?
with children.
Yep.
And it's different.
In
Yeah,
your work calendar,
good
you
point.
blocked out this hour
I'm more
to do
concerned
this.
that she's going to happily sit there and watch a movie.
Good point. Yeah. I've ruined that for myself too. Then.
Yeah.
All right,
No, I always love planes for that reason. No one can call me. Okay.
But yeah.
Barbie.
So I enjoyed my homework.
We've all seen the same 2 movies.
Yeah. Well, 3. Indiana Jones we all watched too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good
Wow,
year
this
for
has been a year for
tentpole
movies for us.
Yeah, I'll say this: I
Yeah.
thought Indiana Jones was the worst of the 3, and I hate that it was, but it absolutely was for me. Although it's probably the one I'm most likely to watch again.
I said we watched another movie too, and this is not a recent release. It's just another really good movie that I'll give a shout out to. That I'm pretty sure Dan you like, and that's Pontypool.
Oh, Pontypool is magnificent.
Yeah, so that's a good movie.
That's one of my favorite, like, all-in-one
Good.
place.
Yeah, good indie, good use of. We just have this one set. It's a cool radio station set.
Yeah.
and it's like a
The
zombie
world is
movie.
ending, but you're just
Yeah.
going to see it from this one guy's point of view.
If it's like a call-in radio show,
Yeah.
and he's like this cool disc jockey, and it's great movie.
And people are calling in, talking about
Yeah.
this fucking weird
Oh,
shit happening outside.
Oh, they were biting him, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, yeah,
So good.
it's really good.
So good.
Great movie.
Yep. No, yeah, you saw that for the first time.
No. We just rewatched it. Jenna was just like, "I want to watch Pontypool." I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's watch that."
So I've been on a Johnny Depp movie marathon recently. Just keep
We stand with Johnny Depp.
churning them out. No,
Yeah.
don't stand with him, but I'll happily watch his movies. I
shit in
watched
bed.
Rum Diary because that's the one where he actually met Amber Heard for the first time. She's great in it. They're both great. It's a funny movie.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's funny. He plays Hunter S. Thompson essentially. It's Hunter S. Thompson adventure.
Okay.
But there's one bit.
He had many of those.
There's one bit where he's like, he gets a job down in Puerto Rico as a journalist, and he's like, the last guy that I'm replacing, did he go back to America or what? And they're like, no, he was raped to death. And he's like, raped to death? And they're like, yeah, raped to death. He's like, raped to death? And he's like, yeah, raped to death. There's not a lot of places on this island I wouldn't go, but the toilets down by the docks are definitely one of them. He's like, sorry, raped to death. Like it's really funny.
All right. What's it called again? The Rum Diaries. Rum Diaries. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to change your life, but it's no Oppenheimer. It's a fun movie to have on. Yeah. What I like about Johnny Depp is that for the most handsome man in the world, arguably, he's very happy to look like a fucking idiot. You know,
Sure.
He does these expressions, clueless expressions, and you can believe. Like, you believe it when women think he's attractive, but for some reason you always also believe it when women think he's a bit of a dork.
Idiot. Yeah.
And so he's relatable in a way that a lot of, Brad Pitt, for example, isn't. Brad Pitt cannot play not handsome.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything he's been in that
Where he was
you wouldn't want to bang.
I'll go.
Brad Pitt, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brad
exactly.
Pitt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even as a much older man now.
Leonardo DiCaprio can do both. I call him Leo. He can do both.
Yeah.
I think it took him a while to get there, though.
But I think Leo was a fantastic looking younger man.
Sure. I know he's gotten a bit weird.
And a slightly odd looking older man.
See, I see the opposite way.
There's
Why
a trailer.
are you rating how attractive male
Marry,
celebrities
fuck,
are?
or kill. Brad Pitt.
Because there was a trailer for that new Scorsese film before Oppenheimer as well, and he's in that, and he's looking like I think he's put on weight for it. He's looking a bit weird, and that's what made me
He's
think
also
of that.
the only man in Hollywood that doesn't look, possibly the only man ever who doesn't look better with a beard. You know, everyone else grows a beard, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, you look serious now.
You look sick."
Yeah, he grows a beard, and you're like, "Oh, shave that off, mate."
I don't think so. Yeah.
I need to trim my beard.
Speaking of men with... Oh, no, we're not going to talk about it now. Teaser for the after party. Rapists have gone to jail.
Yes.
Find out who. And find out what we think. And find out who else has been
Breaking
cancelled
news.
over the whole thing.
We can
But let's talk about something.
We can segue to something related to Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan Bond rumors are back. There's not much to say about this except that the rumors about it again. And I think then one of the Broccolis say, "Oh yeah, he's a good director." Like that fucking means anything. Yeah, he is.
Oh,
Now, he has said, his quote was, he would love to do a James Bond film, but he would only do it if they let him do it however he wanted. And that's not generally what the Broccolis are about.
It means like this.
Yeah.
I don't think he would make a good Bond movie.
I think he did make a good Bond movie. It was called Tenet, and it was one of the best Bond movies, not about James Bond, and it also had time travel.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he could.
I watched a movie this week
I
that
think
had
he could.
2 of the actors from Tenet in it.
Oh yeah.
That I didn't know were in this movie before I started watching it. It was called Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Right?
Oh yeah.
Had not seen that before because I'd only seen up to The Prisoner of Azkaban, and
I think
I'm
that's a good one.
trying to make it to
Oh
the
wait,
end.
no, Goblet of Fire's the that's not a good one.
It's got Robert Pattinson,
Yes.
and I didn't know he was
Doesn't
in
he
it.
die?
I've not gotten to the end yet, but thanks.
Cedric Diggory.
Oh,
And it's also
Spoiler
got
alert.
it's got that woman who says, "Don't fucking worry about the plot, just go with it." When she's telling protagonist how to pick up bullets.
Oh.
But
Oh,
a
yeah.
young and very beautiful woman. Very beautiful.
Okay. Interesting. I haven't watched that movie in ages. Yeah, I remember that
I've
not
never seen
being
it
one of the
before.
best ones. I mean, all the Harry Potters are pretty good.
No, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'll say this though, because I waited till I was in my 40s before I started watching Harry Potter, right? Because I was, in my 20s before they were even written, so I missed the first boat.
Yeah.
I'm going back now. I thought the first Harry Potter movie was amazing, like flawless, perfect music, perfect everything, just a wonderful movie. And the second one was my favorite kind of sequel, just more like the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Exactly
yeah,
the first
sure.
one, but another story. Then the third one, they changed it. It went all dark.
Yeah, it
and
got all
stuff.
dark and-
I was like,
yeah.
oh, come on. I mean, I like dark stuff just as much as the next guy, but this is Harry Potter. Like, where are the colors? What's this faded green that everything is now? And this one,
and then I just sort of got a bit over it, and then just
The story
take it off
does
the
go that
interest.
way in the books too, though. Like it just
okay.
gets darker.
I'll tell you though, guys,
as it
I'm
goes
waiting
on.
for all the transphobia, and I just can't see it.
You won't find it. He wasn't
it's
in
not
there back
in
then.
there.
Well, then
No,
why
she used to
do
be
we
like quite a
care?
good. She was seen as a very liberal kind of champion of the, the LGBT.
I mean, it's
She's
not
not
very.
often
Hold
good.
on,
She ca-
it's not very diverse. I haven't come across any non-whites. I haven't come across any non-hetero. Like it's
well, you will in Goblet of Fire because isn't Cho in that?
Cho,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
the other love
The most
interest.
British Asian person I've ever seen. Sure.
Yeah. She's Asian, so her name's Cho Chong, I think.
Yeah. But she talks like the Queen.
Probably. Yeah.
No, I think she was sort of very on well, not the right side, but she was sort of.
You can say it's the
she
right
came out
side.
like
We all know
Dumbledore's.
it's the correct side.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cho
Like when she came
Chang.
out like Dumbledore's gay and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah,
like,
that's right.
not
Yeah,
there, but
afterwards.
like she was sort of very, and then stuff came out that she didn't like,
Yeah.
and she was against that. But the beginning was she was going back and basically saying,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, that's
But just to
that's
be
he's
clear,
gay and
I didn't say
she's-
Hermione wasn't black. That's what she
Yeah.
said at one point. And everyone was
I mean,
like,
one
"Oh,
says,
all right,
doesn't
mate."
it say
it's
her,
pretty heavily
her book
implied
her
that she
skin
is.
was as white as porcelain or something?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
You know what? I've not read any of the books. I just I heard an argument against that says if you didn't
Oh,
say
okay.
she was
You might-
white,
that might be right.
you heavily implied it.
Oh, it is heavily implied. Yeah.
And also she goes to a posh boarding school in Scotland, which also heavily implies it.
Sure.
I mean, let's be honest, right?
You reminded me, the Creator is coming out.
Oh, I cannot wait.
I forget what you said that reminded me, but yes, I'm fucking excited about that because I also found out that Hans did the music for it.
Oh, did he? Oh, what a great combo.
So I'm even more excited at this point.
That
Gareth Edwards plus Hans. So I'll be going to the
allowed
movies
to do
again.
his own sci-fi movie however he wants.
Can't believe it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't heard about this movie. But,
Really?
Man,
I
it
guess
looks
the backdrop
great.
of war between humans and robots with artificial intelligence.
Yeah, dude.
A former soldier finds the secret weapon, a robot in the form of a young child.
Yeah, it looks sick.
It looks fantastic.
I need to watch this.
Before we get off Nolan's James Bond entirely, I'd just like to say one other thing that I think could work. Nolan has worked with Aaron Taylor Johnson before, who was the big bearded soldier calling the shots at the end in that double pincer action sequence.
Yeah.
He was also Kick-Ass.
Yep.
And he has come out and said unashamedly, I want to be James Bond. And I think that could work. So I think if Christopher Nolan directs, Aaron Taylor Johnson stars, I think that could really work. Oh, he's going to be Kraven as well, Kraven the Hunter. So,
that looks awful though.
I don't know, man. I think that looks just balls to the wall action, and I'm fine with that. It looks
fucking insane. He gets bitten by a lion, he gets lion powers.
Hold on. But that's straight out of the comics, man. I mean, if you want to start going,
come on.
Spider-Man gets bitten by a spider and gets spider powers, all right?
It's a radioactive spider, though. It's different.
Wait till you see it. Come on, it might...
Yeah.
Let's go.
I didn't watch Morbius yet. I guess...
Of course you didn't.
Jenna
Nobody
watched it.
did. Why would you watch that? Nobody
Jenna
watched that.
I still love how they thought that people were wanting to watch it again, so they tried to re-release it in cinema.
Does he actually say it's Morbin time in the
No,
in the
I'm
movie?
sure he doesn't.
No.
That's what everybody online talks about. They're like, "Oh, I love that scene. It's Morbin time," and it's a picture of Jared Leto in the movie. And then I'm like, I hope he does say it because that's insane. That's an insane thing to put in a movie.
Yeah. J. Robert Oppenheimer, Jewish, right?
Yes. Yeah.
No one's
That's the
saying
thing I was going to talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
Before the movie,
he got away
Go
with
on.
it because he didn't put on a fake nose. Just to tie this back to last week's show.
Yes.
You know, no one says a word about you playing a Jew, providing you don't put on makeup.
So I didn't think about any of that before the movie. I sat down, and then the very first thing that played was a I guess short film / like public service announcement style thing where a woman gets like fucking die sprayed on her garage and like a swastika, and then she tells the kid, get in the car, and then she drives off. And when she comes back, and the neighbor's looking, and when she comes back, it's gone, and the neighbor's got paint on his shoe, and she goes, oh, see, honey, it's okay. And then she goes, oh, thank you, to him. And then it came up and it said, don't be mean to Jews. Basically. Like it was like it's called the blue square or something.
PSAs to not be mean to
I was
Jews.
like, do we need to be told that? Apparently we do. And then I was so confused about it. And then there was another one later, and then it came up and it said, like Jews are targeted in the US, blah, 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 even though they make such a small percentage of the population, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I was like, cool. Okay. Fair enough. And then the movie started, and I was like, oh, that makes more sense now. Like, is it just before this movie?
Yeah.
Or are they just doing this now? Because this movie does feature people being discriminated against because they're Jewish. So I was like, oh, is that why it was shown?
I mean, it's set during and before World War II, so it's the right era for it. You would like to think they don't anymore, but I guess they do.
But yeah, I was just curious whether is it because of the movie contains that as a theme, or is it because America is fucked? Like I wasn't sure.
I think it might have been a bit of both.
So I wouldn't. If I'd seen Barbie the movies, and there had been a trailer at the start of Barbie that said "Stop being mean to Jewish people," then I'd know. Because
you could have one that says, pay women what men get. Like maybe every movie needs a little thing before it. The problem is, like in Australia, our racism is so hidden, right? That,
sure.
Like it would have to come up like, oh, don't marginalise the Aboriginal people, and then half the people in the cinema would be like, I've never seen an Aboriginal person, and it's like that's the marginalisation we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, it was
We're
really
about to vote of whether or not they get a voice in Parliament. That's literally how they're phrasing it too.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's called the
Wait,
voice. Vote yes
they don't?
or no to
Vote
get a
yes.
voice.
They didn't previously.
Well, I mean,
I don't think
guess
I knew
they
that.
could if there weren't any racial hurdles to jump over.
Oh. Huh.
It's not. Yeah, it's make sure that they've got they're being heard. They've got
Yeah.
a weight in that's there for them. Not you have to be voted in. They've got to have
Sure.
something that's there no matter what.
That's
for-
the yeah. That's
for them to be
well,
represented.
well, it applies to the stuff in Barbie. It applies to race stuff over here generally. This kind of thing is that when things are set up as they are because of what happened in the past, you kind of have to go a little hard in the other direction in order to fix it. Because
to bring it
Yeah.
up. Because
otherwise,
there's
it's just not
people-
going to happen.
There's a
That's
race
right.
of people starting well
Because
behind.
the status
It
quo is
can't-
pretty good for certain people, and they don't want it
Works
to change.
in golf. It's called a handicap. No one complains.
Yeah.
We've got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the
I think
world,
people miss the
most
point.
of the world's problems can be summed up with one word: colonialization. Like,
And we're here to solve
Southeast
it
Asia's
on this
problem-
comedy
Yeah,
podcast.
that's right. Yeah. Let's move on to something fun. What have we got?
Sure.
Oh, I've been playing a video game this week.
Have you?
I've been wanting to ask.
I've been playing Starfield.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing
Excellent.
Starfield.
What do you think?
I really like it. I really like
Yeah.
it. I've got a couple of issues with it, but not big issues.
Yeah.
I agree with you
I
all
like
that it rocketed you into the storyline in a way that felt a little bit unearned. Except
Yes.
that I just went back to that storyline to finish off stuff
Yeah.
that
True.
relates to that.
Same.
And it kind of
Yeah, same.
I feel okay. That's maybe that was it just felt very, very rushed. But that's okay.
Yeah. So we need to get this
they
guy a
just still-
spaceship. Let's come up
Yeah,
with something.
let's just give it. Let's have just someone walk up to him and goes,
Hand him the
"I need
keys.
someone to drive this spaceship to a certain place."
Maybe he could run it, follow a realtor and save his son from a
That's right.
spaceship.
Yeah. I can give you a spaceship
crash.
with a very low weekly rate. I did find it very familiar that you touch an alien relic and have a vision. And that
Very
sounds
Mass Effect-y.
very familiar.
We've played this game before.
Yeah.
They need to steal something else. Well, not steal.
quite
they need to
different
bring
after that.
something else from
Yes.
Mass Effect in.
And I feel
They need to
Yeah.
bring the Mako in.
Oh
They
yeah.
need a vehicle for exploring planets.
Yeah,
It's
that does
just
get tedious.
So slow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tedious.
Yeah. I'll say this though. Well, here's my one criticism. I like it all. I like the dialogue. I like the characterization. I like the storyline and all of that. It's really good. It's less like Skyrim in many ways, I think. I think it's more... It's definitely Fallout in space. It's just Fallout.
Sure.
It looks like
Yeah,
a
that's fair.
reskinned Fallout. But with Fallout, there's continuity for everything. You walk out of one place into another place, you still feel like you've got that place behind you. You can wander in between them and explore. This, you leave one system for another system, you watch a cut screen and then you watch a load screen. It feels disconnected in a way that I don't
Yeah.
really
Yeah, okay.
like. Especially, I probably, and now this would be tedious, but that said, I probably would like it if it was more like No Man's Sky, where I had to fly from one planet to another. Because at least
Yes.
then I would feel like it was one continuous game.
Because
Yeah.
once you do get around and explore part of the galaxy, you end up just fast traveling everywhere.
Yeah.
And
No,
I
I
think
have been.
that's- Yeah, and I think that's just something that they maybe this is why they took a little bit longer with the game. They were trying. I think they were trying to work something out for that space part because I think that's missing something. I don't know what it is. I think it may just be the fact you aren't flying to places. You just do
Yeah,
fast travel.
and I still think like when you fly to a planet by just selecting it in a menu, or more like I just go find on map when I go into the quest screen, find on map.
the quest screen it goes,
Takes you
yep.
right there. Okay, hit go to there, and then when you get there, you do that. You process again, and you just zoom in and it shows you the spots you can
I'll
land.
say,
It's like, okay,
I'll say
that's
this.
not
I
really-
have tried to do that to a system that's too far away, where you have to do multiple jumps, and it won't
sure.
let you.
Okay,
and then it won't
Yeah.
let you. It says no. To do this, you would have to jump to a system you haven't explored yet. So you're gonna have to do that first.
Okay,
I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, that's
let's
cool.
do that. But once you get a good ship, that's not a thing anymore.
right.
Yeah, right.
because I can just go anywhere.
I stole a new ship. I called it. I named it the Trash Panda.
It's really your thing, isn't it?
Where's these ships from?
When I
Why
land
is
on the
anyone
planet,
still letting you walk aboard?
they don't have a choice, Danny. I am armed, and I am coming aboard.
That is funny because, I mean, obviously this is Skyrim, Fallout, everything. You are ridiculously overdressed for a lot of the situations you find yourself in. Like,
Sure.
like when I'm just in the lodge, just chilling out with those people who are wearing
My helmet's still on.
yeah, exactly. Like
You can
wearing a space
hide that. There's an option to hide them when you're in areas, except people still talk to you as if you're wearing a spacesuit. Because
Yeah, right.
I toggled the option, so when I go into third person, it looks like I'm just wearing clothes. But then someone goes, "What are you wearing that helmet for?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not."
I'm not. There are a couple of bugs like that. I took a companion into space. That sounds a bit. I took a companion into space at one point, and
You hear more about that in the after party.
she wasn't wearing a spacesuit where she clearly was meant to be, but her voice was still filtered as if it was through a helmet.
Oh,
So it's just that the skin didn't load properly or something. So.
I am going to say this is the least buggy Bethesda game.
it's not
we've had
bad
at
in that
launch.
sense. Yeah.
There's like a couple of minor things. I've seen some videos, but nothing like compared to like Fallout when that came out,
Yeah.
and Skyrim. With
You walk into a room and
flying
all the
away.
physics screws up and everything just starts flying around the room. I
Right.
haven't had that happen. Yeah. No, they did a good job. No, I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back. I had a little bit of a break from it. I just felt like playing something else, so took a little break. But I'm gonna go back to it today.
What have you been playing?
Because I was playing The Crew. I was playing a driving game.
Oh yeah, that came out the other day.
I actually got Ubisoft Plus for it, so because I didn't want to pay $100 for it, so I just subscribed for a month, cancel it instantly. I'll play the game. I just felt like something where I didn't have to think.
Yep.
Sure. So you can watch
We've got
Dune
big
while you
games
play
coming
it.
out. Because we've got Cyberpunk coming out.
Yeah, so I've got Cyberpunk 2.0 releases September 21st. Very exciting. Very exciting.
Oh, that's soon.
Yep.
So soon after Starfield. That's an odd time.
Yeah.
We've
And not only
got
that,
a lot of
the Mac version of Baldur's Gate will finally be released that same day, the 21st. So I can actually start playing that properly too. And I'm glad I didn't
It'll be a big weekend for you, Matt.
start playing it in the early access thing because I learned from somebody who did the PC version.
save won't copy.
A lot changes when the final release comes out, and yes, they do. It might be different with the PC. I don't know how they're going to handle this on this, but in their case, they did have to basically ditch all their pre-release stuff and start the game over.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah, so I'm glad I haven't spent too much time on it.
You know what you're getting.
But yeah, Dan, I would say you'll get Baldur's Gate 3 on the Xbox before the end of October. That's my prediction.
Oh, okay, that's very soon.
Not going to comment. I'll get yelled at again.
We'll see. Yeah, that's right. You just shut your mouth, Matt. You're not welcome in this conversation anymore.
The only thing is, if you had an Xbox Series S, you wouldn't be able to play split screen.
No.
Which I still do not understand.
Still
Baldur's
baffles
Gate is
me.
not a split screen game.
No, I know.
But I just do not understand why Xbox are trying to divide their audience. Like, they're selling 2 consoles now. This is nonsensical.
Well, no, that's the thing. They're trying not to divide.
Well, I mean, I know, but they are.
But they've got one that can do things that the other can't.
Yes.
But they're not letting the developers take advantage of the one that can.
Of the
and it's
more
just
powerful one.
yeah, it's just a bit.
Yeah, I don't understand why they did the Series S at launch.
Feels bizarre.
Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, I understand why, but like, you don't want to hamstring
I
the game
really
developers. Come on, guys.
You want them to use everything available to them. Let
Also,
them go.
isn't it kind of like a upsell opportunity? Like if someone's got an Xbox Series S and they're like, "Oh, I like Baldur's Gate 3, but I wish my friend who sat here right next to me could be playing at the same time on the same computer, the same system."
Surely that's...
Buy a Series X.
Yeah, every single console
And they're
I've bought
available now.
is- I mean, no, the last couple I've bought on, as soon as they're released, just because I want the next gen. But in the early days, it was a game. It was a single game that I was like, well, I can't play that without the new console, so I guess I'm getting the new console.
For sure. Mm-hmm. They
I
made.
they need to release a new Xbox though. I want them to release an Xbox Series X without a disc drive.
Oh, okay. Why?
Don't know why. I just want one.
Just putty up the one you've got.
The only time I even access the disk drive on the Xbox Series X is when I'm trying to sync the controller and forget that the little sync button is on the other side and I'm pressing eject
and you
over
push
and
that
over
button.
again. Yeah.
I use Genesis to watch hackers in 4K.
What they should have done, because they released the Series S without the disk drive and the Series X with, they should have swapped that. The disk drive should have been on the Series S because that's a cheaper one.
And you can have play
your
old games.
People are going to cheaper, and people are probably going to be buying discs for the cheaper.
I was going to say, when was the last time you bought an actual disc? But you bought one for Starfield, right?
Oh no!
Oh, you still no
didn't
disc.
get the disc. I got a code.
Oh, see, there you go.
You're going to give it away? You can't because you've claimed it.
I can't.
Oh,
what?
Oh, wow! Hello. Okay.
Screen. It came on a
chip. Yeah.
It's green though.
Like a
I
cred
also
stick.
didn't realize when you
Yeah,
were
that's
talking
pretty
about
neat.
your watch. I didn't realize that watch was an actual item in the game.
In the
too.
game.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just handed over.
Like the Pip-Boy equivalent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that if they had to me, if you had switched over, the Series X was digital. I think that would have made more sense to me because you can't. People, if you're buying a cheaper one, it's probably because you don't have them.
Yeah.
You're buying a
100%.
cheap one for a reason.
Yep.
And if you're using discs, would be a better way for if you're worried about that disc because you can trade them in, borrow things like that.
Yeah.
Digital, there's still no way for us to on sell or
No.
do anything.
How much cheaper is it? I've not even looked at the price of an S.
I think here it's like
no
$200
idea.
cheaper or something. It's $299 instead of $499. Could be wrong
It
on
is a
that.
significant difference if you're a mum, looking for a Christmas present for your kid.
Yeah, $299.
There's two Xboxes and one is very expensive.
Yeah, it's $300 difference here.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's decent.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
You know what else is really expensive? iPhones.
Yeah,
I was
they are.
holding out getting a new phone because I want to get a Max because I just want the more screen real estate and I knew the new ones were coming out. They got the USB-C. Yeah, why not? I'll have a look at these. They're fucking expensive. The cheapest one is over $2,000. Like
It's the most expensive phone they've ever made.
really expensive.
Yeah. And you don't get a
my
charger in the
God.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. They do have
I'm not
USB-C
gonna-
though. Also,
do.
I saw
Yeah.
there was an article about how like it's a. They said, it's a full USB-C port. It's not limited in any way. Same as the ones on the iPads and stuff. And everyone was like, "Yay!" And I was like, "Don't get too excited. I've got an iPad with a USB-C port. That doesn't mean your obscure fucking thing is going to work with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because there's no drivers. Like, there's a ton of things that I've got that if I plug it into my iPad's like, well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just doesn't work. So, like, just don't get too excited, listeners.
Yeah.
I can't get over the price because I've got a Pixel 7 that cost me I think it was $1,100.
No.
Like I can't imagine spending another $1,000.
Is that the Australian price? Must be.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have a 14 Pro Max, and I think it cost me $1,500 US. I think that's what I paid for.
See, that's $2,000.
Which is a lot.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, that's what I was going
Yeah.
to say. Yeah. That's why at first I was like, hang on, but then that is.
That's far too much for a
Let me have a
phone.
look.
It is, and of course you don't have to pay that up front. You can just pay it off over the course of your plan. But $50 a month extra is a 3-year contract. It's $50 a month for 3 years. If you want to do it
And
in
then
1 year,
that means they're going to release 3 phones in that time period.
Exactly. Although I'm still on a 13 Pro right now, so I'm 2 generations behind, which means 3 phones. So I mean that is
See,
about
what
right,
I normally
but-
do. What I normally do is once my phone's about to die ready, I just buy last year's model.
See, I've looked at the 14s now, and they haven't come down enough that I feel
But is a new one out yet?
it's out for pre-order.
wasn't
It's
that
not
much.
out.
It was
You gotta wait for it to
$1,000.
actually release. Yeah, that sounds better.
Times 24.
My Pixel 4a
Yeah, it was
was
$1,100 I think.
$900, and it was a great
Yeah.
phone, except it just wasn't an iPhone.
Let me see.
It's too small for me.
How much is one of those new iPhones here? Just curious. Because that's fucking expensive. They haven't announced any new iPads. Thank goodness. So I don't have to worry about whether I'm going to buy one of those yet. Pro Max from... Yeah, see here, it's the cheapest one is $1,100, $1,200. The colors aren't that great this time either.
I know. I don't
As in, they're all grey.
Well, no, that's because the top tier are titanium.
Yeah. I mean, the titanium looks cool, but then it's like you can't get a colourful one anymore. Okay.
Oh no, you can. I think you can get one for 1,600.
Not the max, right?
Oh, not the max, no.
Yeah, they've got
get a
cheaper versions of
15
it, but if you want the big screen,
Yeah,
iPhone
that's
15
intense.
Pro Max from $21.99. From $21.99.
Wow, it's 1,200 here. That's like I guess. I mean, I know it's not dollar for dollar, obviously.
We're
but that
trading
seems
at
like a
about
big
70
difference.
cents at the moment.
It seems like a big difference. Australia
Pro
tax.
Max, yeah, from $21.99, and the colours suck.
What are they doing?
Because I thought, would it be cheaper for me to buy one
if you
when I
get
was
1
there?
terabyte one terabyte storage, $2,900.
That's so much money for a phone.
That's old timey computer price.
Yeah.
But also, why are you getting a terabyte on your phone?
I mean, maybe people use it to film a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but you know what you
Like-
can do now?
That'd be a
You
lot.
can use your USB-C to record
true.
straight onto an external hard drive.
That's a good point. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Also, Apple's storage prices are stupid. There is no reason their storage prices need to jump up the way that they do on all of their hardware, laptops and stuff included. Like,
Well, what are you paying for storage there? Because I pay bugger all for storage on Google.
no, I mean like physically, like if you buy a laptop, how much disk space do you want inside of it? Right? They're different because they're like, you know, it's like they're not like standard SSDs that you can slot in. They're like soldered into the board, and so the transfer speeds are higher and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's still the same chips that are in there, right? And there's no the price that it costs to go from 512 to 1 terabyte in a laptop on a Mac is fucking insane compared to what it should be.
I need to tell our listeners something.
Go on.
And our viewers. You should feel bad about yourself if you were going out and spending $3,000 on this phone. You should really feel bad about yourself.
That's a mean thing to
This is
say.
wrong.
Why?
You have two
People can do what they
disposable
want,
income.
Luke. Who are you, Luke? You in particular,
Man
Luke.
not entitled to the sweat of his own brow.
This is very un-Luke to be telling people, no, you can't do what you want. You're a
Yeah.
bad person for doing what you want.
Luke, how many giant Batmobile adjacent Lego sets have you got in your house?
I've only got 2. I do want a third one, though. Oh, no, I do have 3, sorry.
Big
What
Lego
did
sets should be a
what did your
shame.
wife say when your Starfield fucking deluxe edition arrived? By the way,
Oh,
we
I'm
need to
sure he
follow
was
up on
doing
that.
that thing where you wait by the
'cause you thought you were gonna get kicked
mailbox
out of the
so that you
house.
could intercept it.
Look, I'm going to say one thing. People should listen to my advice. I give great advice. I don't listen to my own advice, but I do give good advice.
So your advice is don't buy an iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Well, no, you don't need to tell me. I can't afford one. I just plain
No.
old can't
I was
afford
going
one.
to say, if you were to get one, I'm saying don't get the 1 terabyte one. Just get the 256 gig.
Oh, even then.
Oh, sure. Mine's 512 because I do have
I don't store
games
anything on
and
it.
shit on there.
No, I don't have
Yeah,
games. I only have apps and pictures. That's it.
Like, save yourself $800.
I probably didn't need to get 512, I'll be honest, but I did because I was like, well,
But yeah.
I had 256
fill it up.
the last 2 phones. Yeah, exactly. You know, exponential.
But yeah, I
probably
don't
didn't
think
need
the price difference was this much between.
No,
Yeah.
no, but and again, looking at the prices here, to me they seem more reasonable than it sounds the Australian prices
Yeah,
are.
this one, 256 gig is 2,200, and then it jumps up to 25.
I remember when I was going to buy the new one, I was in Australia and I thought, I wonder if it's cheaper to buy it here. And I remember looking and going, fuck, no, it's not.
Yeah.
So I waited till I got home.
Yeah. Yeah, not going to be doing that. I'll just be satisfied with my own phone for now, which is still working perfectly. Just want it to be bigger.
Just a shame you can't get into the Pixels or something because they are a lot cheaper.
That is true.
Before we go to the after party, which we do need to do soon, I just wanted to know, have you guys been watching this Unity stuff? What's been going on with Unity?
Following a little, yeah.
What I heard from it is Unity are trying to bring in the pricing structure. So you pay them to use the engine, and then there's going to be something built in so that when people download your game, a portion of what you make from it needs to be paid back to Unity or something?
No, it's even stupider than that. Every time somebody installs your game on any platform, like an install, right? So if you buy it, you install it, you delete it, you install it again, delete it, install it again. Every one of those installs will cost the developer 20 cents. It's insanity.
Oh, that's insane.
What are you talking about? That's what everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So Unity, for those who don't know, is a game engine. It has been a fantastic platform. Like, this is the one that I learned it because it just seemed really great. Like, you could use it for free, and then once you started earning over a certain amount of money, you had to pay. Unreal eventually did the same thing. But now Unity got bought out, and they've been doing stupider and stupider things, and this is just fucking... It's madness. And so there are games like Cult of the Lamb, which uses Unity. They said, buy it now. We are pulling the game because we cannot do this. Like, we cannot afford... Because not only that, it's retroactive. If you made a game, any game... That's what... And then people are like, is that legal? Apparently it might be. We're going to find out. Retroactively, any game out there right now, like Disco Elysium was made in Unity. So now, anytime anybody installs Disco Elysium, the developer is charged 20 cents. And then, so people were like, couldn't somebody just, to punish a developer, write a script to like install, delete, install, delete, install, delete, install, delete? And they're like, yeah, I guess they could.
See, when I first heard about it, I thought it was just like when someone like purchased a game, there was going to be a one-off. And for me, if they're looking at new pricing, wasn't a terrible thing.
Sure.
But it was very free.
Install
the actual thing when you look at it is really stupid, and even to the point where like Penny Arcade made a comic about it. That's how obviously stupid it is. Like, these guys, they're not game. I mean, they're game adjacent. And, you know, it used to be, I don't know how it is these days. It used to be if Penny Arcade made a comic about you, that was not good. If it was making fun of you. And then, this comic is quite scathing. So I just don't understand. First of all, I don't understand why anybody would ever use Unity ever again now. Yeah. Because even that people are saying, oh, they have to roll this back. It's too stupid. They'll roll it back. It doesn't matter, mate. The fact that they even tried to do this is such a red flag. I would never make a game in this engine.
Yeah, because I saw people, we're going to boycott, and I got, you're a bit over the top when, but no, for
it's
install.
Really,
I still
it's
can't
really
get over
stupid.
Install.
Yeah, it's really stupid. It's. I think whoever bought the company just doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh, did they recently sell? Is that what happened?
Yeah, they got bought out. Yeah, and then since then they've been doing progressively stupider and stupider things, and this is just like insanity. So yeah, so like I said, yeah, games have pulled. They're gonna Cult of the Lamb is apparently going to pull the whole game from sale because they can't deal with it. A bunch of indie developers said they may be forced to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like every time somebody installs it, like
that's incredible.
Okay,
like literally install. So stupid.
Here's the install definition. The installation and initiation of a game or app on end user's device, as well as distribution via streaming, is considered an install.
Yeah.
Games or apps with subsequently similar content may be counted as one project with resources aggregated to calculate each Unity runtime fee. So saying if they do an add-on later, that wouldn't be counted, but the initialization of a game or app
on a
device.
On a device. Yeah.
As well as via streaming.
So, I mean, look around. A bunch of game developers have come out and said, like, basically, this is not feasible. So, it's almost certainly not going to happen because it's not possible to do this. And also with demos, if you make a demo of a game, you have to pay for every time they install the demo. It says that specifically. It's madness.
Yeah, that's insane. That's
so I could make a game.
Yes.
And sell very badly. One person buys it.
Yep.
I sell it to them for $1.
Yep.
They install it.
Yeah.
Not for me. But then come back 6 months later, install it. 6 months later, install
Yeah.
it. They keep
And
so
and you only got 70 cents from
bankrupt.
Steam anyway.
Yeah.
After from the dollar.
But I'm just because this person keeps coming back to give my game a try another.
Not only that,
I'm now bankrupt.
you could release a game, sell it for $1, and they go, I'm not sure. I'll install the demo version, and then delete it and install the demo and install the demo, install the demo, install the demo, and then now you're bankrupt. You didn't get anything.
It's never a good idea to price your customers out of the market, you know?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's really stupid.
No, this is made by a decision as someone who doesn't understand.
100%. And that's like I said, everyone's saying, oh, they'll roll this back, but it doesn't matter now. The damage is done.
Yeah.
Like, why would you ever, like, if you were starting a new project, why would you ever choose Unity now? You can't trust them.
I mean,
it's like, can other game engines do this too? It's going to have everybody thinking like that now.
Where are people going to go? Unity seems pretty prolific.
Well, yeah, you could go Unreal. Unreal is the other option that's made by Epic. Or there are open source options like Godot, like Godot is like an open source game engine that might be an option. It's not as full featured. And then there's stuff like there's an Aussie guy called the Cherno, used to work at, I don't know if he still works there, used to work at EA. He's making a game engine called Hazel online now. So there are options, but Unity was just super like
It was easy
accessible.
to use. People understood it.
Yeah, it was like a really good option for so long.
People were making stuff for it, and you could just go in and go, "Yep, I'll grab that."
Oh yeah, any
Really
indie
good
game I play says made with Unity.
Yeah, simple to use, really good documentation, really good community, which has now turned on it.
Look, I've got no issue with them going back and looking at their pricing structure and how.
If they feel they need to do that, that's fine. But something so aggressive like this, and just so clearly not thought through, or like they just don't understand their business. Seems like, like it's
It's a shame.
Very disappointing. So listeners, if you're thinking of making an indie game, don't use Unity.
Yeah.
And if you're me and you've spent a bunch of money on courses, just be glad that you didn't actually do anything with that.
It's lucky. It's lucky that we've been so lazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's time to pick a new platform to not do anything with.
Well, we can discuss that in the after party.
What's the after party, dude?
After parties.
Patreon.com/multiple nerdgasm. Sign up, become a patron of the arts, support this podcast, and get bonus material every week.
And a hug if you see me in person.
No, we're promising no physical touching. It's not allowed.
That's what Danny Masterson said.
I like hugs.
In the after party. No, it's not what he said. Unfortunately.
No, he went a little bit further. I'll find out
Fuck
in
me
the after
or else,
party.
I think were his exact words. Even Luke
His
laughed at that.
words.
Wow. Now it's all from
You can say whatever you want about somebody who's in prison, can't you? That's the rules.
Whatever you want. You don't even have to say allegedly.
Yeah.
You could say
I was going to say libel, slander doesn't apply when they're in prison, mate.
No.
Right. Well, this is going to be a juicy after party then. Patreon.com/multiple nerdgasm.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.